안녕하세요. 오늘의 주제는 교통수단입니다. 총 4문제이고요. 우리나라 사람들이 이용하는 교통수단 묘사, 내가 자주 이용하는 교통수단 묘사, 평소와 다른 교통수단을 이용했던 최근 경험, 그리고 교통편 사용 중 어려움을 겪은 경험, 이렇게 4문제에 대한 답변 시작해 보도록 하겠습니다.
Discuss how people in your country get around every day. What forms of transportation do they use? Do they drive their own cars or use public transportation?
In my country, South Korea, people use a variety of transportation methods to get around every day. Subways, buses, taxis, cars, you name it. One of the most popular choices is public transportation, especially buses and subways. The subway system is known for being fast and reliable. Many people prefer the subway during rush hour because it helps avoid traffic jams. Buses are also widely used. They run frequently, so it's convenient for commuting. And, taxis are a common option as well. But as for me, they're too expensive, so I don't prefer using them unless it's midnight when public transportation are not operating. Of course, many people also drive their own cars. Owning a car offers more flexibility, especially for those who live in the suburbs. But with the heavy traffic in major cities, some drivers prefer using public transport for daily commutes to avoid the stress of driving and parking. Overall, while many people have cars, I guess public transportation remains a popular and efficient way to get around in South Korea.
What forms of transportation are available where you live? What types of transportation do you usually use during the week? What types of transportation do you use on the weekend?
When it comes to public transportation that I use on a daily basis, I can say that I am a lucky guy. This is because I have both a subway station and a bus stop right in front of my house. I can even see them from my window. This makes getting around super convenient. During the week, I usually take the bus to commute to and from work. The reason I prefer the bus is that it drops me off right in front of my office building, so I don't have to deal with transfers or walking too far. On the weekends, I often meet up with friends, and I tend to use the subway more. It's pretty reliable and gets me around quickly, so it works great for weekend plans. Using the subway on the weekends is particularly better because traffic can get pretty bad on the weekends. I don't have to worry about dealing with traffic jams when using the subway, although it is a bit more crowded. To summarize everything I've said, the bus is my go-to on weekdays, and the subway is my top choice on weekends. Having both options so close by really makes life easier. It gives me a lot of flexibility depending on what I need.
Give a detailed description of the last time you used a form of transportation that was different than usual. Was this the first time you used this form of transportation? If so, did you enjoy the change? How long ago was this? Where were you going, and what did you do once you got there?
Different form of transportation. That's a very interesting question. Let me see. Oh, the last time I used a different type of transportation was about 2 years ago when I traveled to Busan, and it was on the KTX. Usually, I just take a normal train or subway, but this time, I decided to take the KTX. So basically, KTX is a high-speed train here in Korea. It has a magnetic force that lifts up the train, so it slightly floats above the track. Because of that, it feels super smooth, and it's really fast too. I was amazed by how quickly we got to Busan from Seoul, way faster than a regular train or car. It was actually my first time using it, and it turned out to be a pretty cool experience. When I arrived in Busan, I went straight to the beach to check out the ocean view. After that, I went to a nearby seafood restaurant and had some delicious raw fish. It was so fresh and tasted amazing. Overall, taking the KTX made the trip even more enjoyable and made the whole experience so unique. Next time, I would definitely use it again for a quick, comfortable ride.
What kinds of difficulties or problems have you faced related to transportation? What exactly was the problem? How did it affect your day? What did you do to resolve the problem? Tell this story in detail from start to finish.
Well, I definitely remember that I had a bit of a rough time with transportation recently. I had dinner plans with friends after work, so I headed to the subway station. But you know what? Since it was rush hour, the station was packed with so many people. The trains were completely full as well. Seriously, there were so many people that everyone was squeezed tightly together, and it was just impossible to get on. I had to let 2 trains go by, which was really frustrating. After a while, I realized I had no choice but to wait until a less crowded train came. In the meantime, I called my friends to let them know I'll be late and suggested they go ahead and start dinner without me. Waiting felt like forever, but eventually I was finally able to get on. But I was already running late by then. When I finally arrived, I apologized for being late and joined my friends. I must have missed out on some of the fun stories and good meats they were eating, though. This whole experience taught me that during rush hour, it's better to either get to the station earlier or maybe consider using a different form of public transportation. That's how I see it. 네, 영상 잘 확인해 보셨나요? 교통수단에 대한 저의 답변은 여기까지고요. 저는 앞으로 총 70개가 넘는 주제에 대한 스크립트를 모두 제공할 수 있을 때까지 최선을 다해서 영상을 제작하도록 하겠습니다. 감사합니다.